welcome back for match day 5 with Portmore United and Humber Line. Jevick McFarlane will be looking to get on the score sheet once more for Portmore United. And a very emotional player is Jevick McFarlane. Knows how to celebrate, Dwight.
As he did the last time around, he was very elated in getting his first goal.
And we kick off proceedings. Humber Line looking to get their first points of the season. Edwards on the ball for Humber Line. And that ball sent forward and seen all the way through by Portmore United, and it will be a goal kick.
I think we're going to expect, and I think Coach Gardner is expecting that, to a lot of direct plays coming from Humber Line. More likely we'll be looking to play a lot on the counter today. We see just not really pressing very high up. We see their frontmen there for Humber Line just backing off and allowing Portmore to have possession in their defensive third.
Very versatile player is the man Demaros, was on the ball for second, and Portmore United struggling to keep possession, and Humber Line do have the possession to Vanzi, and he sends it back for Reed. He sends it across, and Vanzi will collect once more, but intercepted nicely by Emilia Rousseau and Demar Rose. That ball sent forward for Phillips, hounded by two players, and he's still on the ball, but the referee Dwar says it's a free kick. Former Clarendon College man is the Mario Phillips, a very tricky player is Phillips Dwight, and there's a man that we need to keep our eye on for Humber Line.
Yeah, well,
orchestrating as well.
He's done a good job. Hasn't been really helped out by his defense. No clean sheet, but that speaks a lot about the amount of work he has done so far in the season to be the player that you watch for this team. And very early, he will probably have to show why he is that player. We know that we saw in the warm-up session that we saw Morris practicing a lot of
one to goal, and it's still in the dangerous position, and the referee says it's a goal kick, so it's a handball. It seems to be by Emilia Rousseau, but that was not a bad ball. A shot at goal by Ricardo Morris, and it was parried out by Mikhail Chambers, I should say, or Mikhail Harrison, and was not dealt with 100% by the Humber Line defense, and you still would think that maybe they would clear it, but it was a handled ball that saved them, Dwight.
Yeah, I think we spoke about Harris and how important he will be for Humber Line today. I think he would have been at fault and would have been happy to hear the referee whistle go for a handball, because Morris's shot on goal was a tame one in the end and should have been handled better by Harrison, but I guess for a shot, just getting his palms warm, and as such we expect him to improve as this one progresses.
That ball sent forward for Portmore United, and they still collect, but Humber Line regained possession. Still Humber Line, but taken away. Shawnee James, he was bustled off of possession, and Humber Line still trying to get their bearings together in this game so far. Portmore United now on the attack. Shawnee James just looking for a pass and tries to find Ricardo Morris. Demario Phillips collects. It will be a throw. Seagull Knight back to Ricardo Morris. He's passing around the ball is Portmore United. Goes to James. Still James. Referee says there was a push by the man Rodney, and it will be a free kick for Portmore United.
I think there's only going to be one candidate to strike this one. Just a shove in the back. It's going to be probably the easiest call for the referee all day. But we do see Morris over it, and he was practicing from this spot in the warm-up. So maybe his muscle memories are intact here for this one, but he does have company in terms of takers queuing up for this one, but you would feel that Rousseau has a good kick on him as well.
It does. You see 3 players, Demario Phillips, Ricardo Morris and Emilia Rousseau over the ball. We'll see who takes this one. And it's Emilia Rousseau shot at goal and wide of the target.
I think from that kick, I think the next one that comes up in that position, Morris is going to go for it. Because that one, you at least want to get on target, but that was well wide.
Yes. Ball intercepted by Portmore United. Vancy collects it routinely. And the ball just trying to find Lewin. Chipped over to find Tajay Brown. Brown again. Morris. That ball sent across to find Emilia Rousseau. Emilia Rousseau sends that one inside, but dealt with by the defense of Humber Lion. And I guess patience is the name of the game for Portmore United. Knight receives the ball again. Rose to Morris. So sends that one back for Myers. Not rushing to go forward, Dwight, is Portmore United. They're just playing at their own pace.
I think credit to Umberland. I think they're trying to block the passing lanes, and as we suspected, it would be 5 at the back there once they're without possession, and trying to just hurry this Portmore team once they get into that attacking third.
And now they're in attacking third, and not dealt with properly. Demario Phillips blocked. And it dealt with by Humber Line, and it will go for a throw. So Portmore United with an opportunity.
It's one thing to have the players in the position as Umberland did on that occasion, on that attack that Rousseau played the ball one time inside, but the quality of the clearance just was not there, and almost gifted a chance to Portmore.
Portmore will be looking to get those opportunities all day. I'm sure they would want to dispatch that if there is another mix-up in the defense for Humber Line. But here's the Rose for Portmore United. He's trying to find Javik McFarlane, but Humber Line now going through Lewin, trying to find James Thomas, but not dealt with properly. And now Shawnee James finding no one over the left, but Emilia Rousseau would try to chase, and that ball sent it to touch for a throw.
Rodney didn't execute that pass as well as he wanted to. He wanted to get Dallas on it, but just miscued the pass. But we saw on an attack just now, it was Vanzi in the middle of the defence for Humberland, jumping that deep between the central defenders, so it was almost like a back six at the time. And pretty sure their first objective in this game is to at least get to the half-time break. It's a long way away though, it's just into the 10th minute, but I'm sure want to just keep a clean sheet as long as possible.
Don't want to really play too defensive, because you let Portmore on the ball or give them some possession and basically form their game throughout this contest, then it spells problems, and you hear that thunder roar. But should be a roaring encounter here at the Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence. Ricardo Morris on the ball, trying to find Shawnee James, but dealt with by Humberline, not entirely. Now they will try to. Emilia Rousseau rushing to take possession and still couldn't. And the referee calls back that foul.
Yeah, I think he had to. He was bellowed at by players and benches. I think that's a fair call.
Roden and Vanzi so far for Humberline has been everywhere, as we see the captain on the ball. Rico Edwards sending it back for his defensive partner Chambers, trying to find Christian, but intercepted by Rose. Rose on the ball again. You'd have to believe that both teams are not been composed so far.
Yeah, not settled both teams. I know the lion's share of the possession has been with Portmore, but not really hurting Humberline, where they're possessing it most. As they come forward, Humberline try to crowd them out. Few anxious moments for Humberline, but not necessarily troubling them.
And for that opportunity, as we see Ricardo once more trying to muster something up for the defending champions, and 25 passes made until that opportunity, Dwight. So
yeah,
they have that passing game down pat.
Well, I think they're allowed to do so too, because Humberline not so concerned about pressing them high. But yeah, Portmore is a team that can possess the ball and have good quality all over the park. But yeah, that chance having fallen to Phillips earlier would have been on the back of those 25 passes. Would have been good to cap that with a goal.
Humberline now on the attack. Miller Rousseau dealt with that one, but Vanzi collects for Humberline.
I think again it's just opportunity there for Portmore, because Humberline had commit some players forward, was out of position. I think that's where it's going to matter for Portmore to get beyond them.
And now an opportunity for Portmore through Shawnee James. Ball sent inside. And Phillips will let that run out for the first corner of the game. So Portmore United have that passing game down pat, but like I said before, 25 straight passes before that opportunity was created, and Humberline would need to kind of stop that passing lane if they want to get into this one and maybe collect some points. And a little cheeky.
That one was straight off the training ground. I mean, they just got the Humberline players napping. I think Coach Price won't be pleased.
And a sliding challenge by Afiba Chambers, and it will be a free kick in a dangerous position for Portmore United, as we see the first card of the game, and it will be the number 34, Afiba Chambers. Have to be very careful, Humberline. They don't want to get frustrated with this passing game displayed by Portmore United. As you see that sliding challenge, you can't do that, and both studs were up. Has to be very careful, Afiba Chambers.
But the fact he got a little of the ball might have just saved him. We've seen those plays get a different colour cards, but I think he certainly could have gotten a red, as I said before. You've seen those plays, getting a different color cards a lot of times. So I guess the referee here may see that a case of managing the game, but for sure, Chambers a bit fortunate to still be on the park. And when you're organized and you have a lot of players behind the ball and you're going to frustrate your opponent, this is what you don't want to do, is to give them a free strike at your goal, which is what I think Morris will certainly take this opportunity to do. And I think it's very, very dangerous here for Portmore, for Humberland, and you could put your money on him hitting the back of the net with this one.
Remember, Ricardo Morris did score a free kick for Portmore in the first minute of the game, and that was, or I should say, the first match of the season, and that one just wide. Even though it took some deflection, but we can say it was his one.
I think if that was on frame, I suspect Harrison would be struggling to get there. He seems rooted to the spot. Might have been looking for something aerial, but that one went all along the turf, and I think it was probably deliberate by Morris to do that.
So Portmore United just taking their time on the ball, not rushing things really. And again, trying to find Shawnee James, and they do. Seagull Knight. That was a very good ball by Seagull Knight, and trying to get by Roden, but couldn't. And now Humberline will try to go forward now, trying to find James Thomas, but doesn't. And James Thomas hasn't been getting a lot of those passes to really be dangerous against that Portmore United defense. So maybe they'll probably want to keep the ball on the ground. And now Portmore United can attack. And too much. Would it? No. It's not too much for Ricardo Morris.
But in the end, it was.
Maybe it is.
But I think, as you mentioned, James Thomas there for Humberland, he cuts a lone figure up front, and despite their system speak to a 3-4-3, because of the amount of tracking back of the wide players, I think they're going to struggle to not have him isolated. So a lot of the times you feel he's going to have to hold up play as best he can and try to see if he can bring others into the play. And you speak about Portmore and their possessing the ball. 62% of the possession in this game so far has gone to Portmore.
Well, to have 62 to 38, we know that's massive, but the most important thing for Humberline and for Portmore is that it's still 0-0 between these two teams.
I guess depending on the mindset of the players and their preparation coming into this one, Coach Price probably would have pointed out to them that we're not going to have much of the possession in this one, and so they're not so perturbed by the fact that they're not having the lion's share possession.
They need one opportunity, but here's an opportunity for Portmore United. DeMar Rose, and it's just wide of the target. Another opportunity comes for Portmore United.
Yeah, I think Portmore he snapped at it, but was always hustled. And Vanzi was always there to hurry him. And sometimes as a defender, so all you want to do is to just give the attacker something to think about other than his focus on striking at goal. And how half your job would have already been done.
Yes, as we know, Rose left after completing his time at Wolmer's and went to Valparaiso in the United States to continue his football career, but came back here for the Jamaica Premier League, as we see Humberline with another, well, one of their best efforts going forward.
Yeah, I think Rodney is, based on their system, it should be three at the back, and Rodney and Lewin is expected to go forward. I think this is one of those rare occasions where Rodney has gotten the opportunity to go forward, and I'm thinking he's going to want more of that moment, but it's going to have to be measured and in the right phase of the game as well. I think Humberland, they will have to be mindful from this corner kick. It could be a good opportunity for them to get into the game, but also could be a very dangerous moment for them. having committed a lot of players.
Yes. Just two out of the 18-yard box on a headed effort collected by Kemar Foster.
What was surprising on that play too is the amount of players that Portmore committed to defending that corner. They only had one outlet, and you feel like they could have gambled and have another player out and try and see if on gaining possession, trying to play the counter.
FIBA Chambers just collecting against Shonday James. Referee says no foul. Shonday was calling for a free kick, but didn't get that one.
So we're looking.
Well, it's one Clarendon team that has defeated. Well, the team that has defeated Portmore United is another team that hails from Clarendon, Vere United. They wouldn't want to keep that trend going.
And at the time when they played Vere was down the table, had drawn 2 games, and so they're up against another team a team that is at the bottom of the table again, as you said, hail from Clarendon. So the omens are quite ominous here for Portmore. So they did have a lot of the possession in that game against Vere as well, and they lost that game by 1-0. So they will be mindful that they need to make the possession count in this one.
Yeah, that's why I said that possession really doesn't matter. The score is what matters, and having a lot of the possession but don't take your chances or don't create the opportunities will leave you not scoring any goals. So that was the name of the game for them against the Vere United, formerly Jamalco, but they would not want to let that happen against another Clarendon team, Humber Lion, who are yet to gather their first points of the season, has played 4 games, has lost all 4, and Portmore United playing 4 games and has won 3 and lost 1. Solomon on the ball for Portmore United, trying to send that ball forward for DeMar Rose, but couldn't keep that one down. DeMar Rose, and another opportunity for Portmore United.
Sometimes we underestimate, the ball in flight, having to wait for that one. It was a beautiful ball played into the attacking area, and just leaning back, always going over. We saw a strike yesterday from Christa J. Daly with a ball plucked out of the sky, and so often we see that with these shots. They either spoon off and go wide or go over the top. It's really not the easiest thing to strike that ball coming out of the sky. And on that occasion, the execution just was not what you'd come to expect from Rose.
And it's not the first opportunity he has gotten in this game. And again, you did mention that he wouldn't play that number 6 role and would be more advanced up front, and that shows his advancement. What we see here through Shonday James, an opportunity now for Ricardo Morris. Muscled off the ball by Vanzi. So captain versus captain, and another opportunity could have been created there for Portmore United, but the defense, at least for the first 23 minutes or so, have been able to deal with somewhat of an attack by Portmore United. So we did speak about their defense, and they're working effectively so far. No goals have been scored against them.
Yeah, I know they're having numbers behind the ball. That's part of their ploy.
Let's see if they can keep it up in this contest. Seagull Knight. Morris back to Knight. Morris just passing, and very patient Portmore United. Morris takes that shot there and sends it across to DeMar Rose, who has been everywhere in the midfield and the attacking possession, and maybe that's why it's so difficult to mark him. He is a very versatile player. We have seen a couple of times in this game where he's even gone back in defense, and too much for Demario Phillips, and it will be a goal kick for Humber Lion.
Yeah, Brown there trying to get Phillips going, but that's what Humber Lion will want. I mean, yes, you're in possession, Portmore, and you're passing side to side, not so many penetrative passes, and then that final ball just runs out, and that's part of their game plan pretty much, to just frustrate. Possession is about moving the ball in an attempt to move players out of position, and when you so do, you get into that space. And we see a infringement there, foul committed by Myers, and Dallas there getting the better of him. Measured him quite well. It's beautiful. Almost cut the hair off his head. Neatly measured. And Myers ensured that he didn't get by him, so doing his defensive work, taking one for the team there.
Well, they normally say once you flick it over the head of another player, they wouldn't require another trim for another year. But here's an opportunity for Humber Lion. Well, was an opportunity, and the assistant says it's an offside call.
And Rodney would have been disappointed with that one. He was out wide, looking right across, and well, wasn't looking across, was looking at the taker. He should have been looking across to make sure his position was good, and that's a very wasted opportunity for Humber Lion to get the ball into the Portmore penalty box.
He was wayward offside, Dwight.
Yeah,
He wasn't paying attention at all.
I know Coach Price spoke about it in the last game, is that their concentration was an issue, didn't stay switched on long enough. They're going to have to improve that significantly here. Although Rodney was not showing that type of impetus that time.
Morris was come back quite a bit for Portmore United. Normally in that forward position. Of course, Kevon Reed had to deal with that, but it only falls to Emilia Rousseau. Rose loses possession. Dealt with by Rodney, but Portmore regains possession. Morris. Solomon racing forward for Portmore. Stops on a diamond, sends it back for Rose. And nobody there to collect.
I think for Portmore, they're gonna have to have more players in and around the penalty area, in smaller triangles, because that's how you're going to get the link-up plays. That's how you're going to play the 1-2s, to be able to break down a defensive line that has a lot of bodies in it. At the moment, they're not having those triangles small enough, and as such, not being penetrative enough.
That foul by Rico Edwards on Demario Phillips. And another free kick. And the Humber Lion, we know, can be a very physical team, but if you give Portmore United a chance and set pieces too, who have been pretty decent on those set pieces, you wouldn't want to give them any opportunity. And it's a similar position that actually one of the players over the ball, Ricardo Morris, did score on match day 1. But we see Demario Phillips as well over the ball, but at a further distance. Phillips to take that one. Opportunity wasted, way over. And it will be a goal kick for Humber Lion.
I guess Harrison on that occasion, quite pleased to just look up and watch it go over. Always rising, and even after passing the goal, kept rising. They needed about 3 goals stacked on top of each other for him to hit net with that free kick.
And Andy Townsend quote, I like it. Now an opportunity for Portmore United. It's sent across to Ricardo Morris. Brilliant strike. What a goal by Ricardo Morris. That's his 3rd goal of the season. And a rifle of a shot. And it's 1-0 to Portmore United against Humber Lion, minute 30.
Well, you always thought that he was going to hit the back of the net from that space that he was given, afforded so much time and space. And you hear the old adage, you do not give players, good players, a lot of time and space, they will hurt you. And on that occasion, for the one time, Portmore, Humberland didn't have enough players behind the ball, and Morris so much time and space. And with all the good work from Harrison throughout since the start of the season, there was no chance for him there.
Yes, no chance indeed. And Ricardo Morris, his strike puts Portmore United up in the 30th minute. And we spoke about DeMar Rose's movement within the middle of the park as opposed to the forward position as well. And that's one of the main reasons why they scored. He made the run. He got the ball, turned, found Morris, and what a powerful left-footed shot there by Ricardo Morris. And that basically is sent with authority. A very good turn by DeMar Rose, but the referee says no foul. And Humberland will look to equalize before halftime, of course. Still about 15 or so minutes left.
I tell you, it must be shatter into their confidence, because having to go behind, the good thing that they can draw on, I think in their last game, they went down a player and managed to find an equalizer in that game. I think it was against Sevier. They have 11 players on the park. We saw earlier where Chambers could have been sent off, but he's still there, so there's still hope for them to come back into this one.
Some hope indeed. And it was a foul by Emilia Rousseau on Shamari Dallas.
I think what will happen in this game now is that Humberland will be forced to come out and play. So often we see teams set up defensively. As we take a look here, and Healy got a little push still, but sort of stepped on the ball, Dallas, and fell over. But an opportunity for Humberland to get the ball into the Portmore penalty area, and a feature we've not seen so often in this game. But as I was saying, so often a team go behind and they just come out and play. They have nothing to lose and they express themselves. So we'll probably see a lot of that, or more of that, from the Humberland team. I don't think they have a choice.
Yes, they don't. And an opportunity for Humberland to equalize. Set piece. And they have some bodies in the box. That ball swung in and dealt with by Ricardo Morris, the goal scorer for Portmore United. Still Ricardo Morris. And a Giorgio Chiellini type style of foul by Humberland, and it's...
I think they recognize, as I said earlier, the free kicks in the attacking areas for Humberland. It's probably a great opportunity for them to get back in the game, but arguably probably the dangerous moment for them when they commit players, and I think on that occasion they didn't want to be outnumbered. And a technical foul.
Now for Sean Day James. Will swing that one inside, trying to find Ricardo Morris. It's still not dealt with properly, and again the defense called into question and parried once more by Harrison, who's used to really collecting the ball, and he's been parrying a lot of those shots all game, and ball swung into the 18-yard box all game.
I think it was put off there by Reed. I think Reed just came across his high line, looked to square it, then came to him, and he just had a reflex, pretty much reaction to it. But he felt, Reed was going to clear.
Brown sends it back for Solomon. Foster hasn't had a lot to do this game so far, but Harrison has. And Sean Day James trying to bustle for possession against Kevin Reed, but Kevin Reed saw that one through.
He's trying to figure how Humberland will get back into this one. And I think, again, for them, yes, the wide plays are going to be important. Yes, they're going to have to turn this Portmore defense around, but those set pieces will have to be of better quality, because it could be their best route to get back into it.
have to find a way to get back into this one against Portmore United, who have been keeping possession and now are ahead. And they would want to keep it that way. McFarlane. Vanzi collects the ball for Humber Lion. Sliding challenge, but the referee says it's a foul by Javic McFarlane on Andrew Vanzi, and it will be a free kick.
I think McFarlane is attesting that he got the ball, and he did a lot of work tracking back. The sliding effort deemed to have been illegal. Seemed to have gotten the ball with his challenge, unless there was a shove before the ball on Vanzi. I think McFarlane had a case there that he got the ball.
Maybe that's what referee Dora saw. Maybe there was a push, and that's why he stumbled. And another set piece for Humber Lion. Maybe they can do one better for this one. And dealt with by Damana Solomon. It will be a corner for Humber Lion. Their second one, I believe, of the contest. As we see the set piece once more dealt with routinely by Solomon. I know Reed wanted to latch onto that one and put that one on target, but Solomon, who is not necessarily the tallest, but he's very strong in the air, and got that one, got the better of Kevon Reed. But a corner for Humber Lion, their second of the contest, the third of the game overall. The corner swung in, collected by Kemar Foster, not troubling the goalkeeper, and Portmore United can go again. Knight for to Solomon, and Solomon is just alone on that right hand side. Nobody challenging him at all by Humber Lion. And if you want to get back into the game, you'd want to go forward and jostle for possession, but you really don't want to lose out once you gain that possession, because Portmore can hit you on that counter because their passing game is so efficient.
I think what Humber Lion is trying to do here is to stay into this game as long as possible. Yes, it's 1-0, they're behind, but they wouldn't want to go 2 or 3 down before the interval, and as such, I think they're just still trying to measure it and probably have a go later on in the game if it's still just 1-0. But if they push forward too early, committing players too much chasing to get back into this game, it could be all over from the first half. So I think it's more of a measured approach where they're behind, but they just want to keep it a goal and not widen the margin.
Sometimes being too cautious will also cause that.
And they do say the best form of...
But now it's Sean D. James for Portmore United. Brilliant sliding challenge by Kevon Reed.
Yeah, they say the best form of defense is attack at times, but nonetheless you still have to time your attack rightly, decide which phase of the game to go out and go and attack, and I think that's what they're doing here. Coach Price seemingly calm in the situation. I don't think it's a resignation of the fact that he will lose this one, but I guess, as I said before, just trying to get to the interval, another 6 or so minutes, and to just get his charges motivated again to go and time his attack.
Humber Lion would want to get that equalizer before the end of the first half, and I know that if they do, Price would be the happier of the two coaches, because he would see where there's effort.
Okay.
But Humber Lion needs to attack in order to get something of this. And dealt with by Foster.
Foster was quite lucky. I think he just almost under-hit that one. Would have fallen to Dallas, I think, who was chasing, looking to put pressure on him.
Not the best decision from Emilio Rousseau, former St. George's College man. And that ball swung inside. Dallas just tripping up. But he does regain his footing. And also formerly a Vauxhall. And Myers just getting himself in a bit of trouble. But again, that passing game by Portmore United, but Humber Lion do regain possession. They lose it as quickly as they have gotten it. And here is Ricardo Morris for Portmore United. That ball sent across, and he wanted to find Javik McFarlane, but too much on it, and he holds his hand up apologizing. You know, that's the normal gesture.
Yeah, and I think expecting McFarlane to acknowledge the effort in trying to find him.
And that's also another ability of Ricardo Morris. He's everywhere in the field as well. James Thomas, he was fouled by Damalo Solomon. It will be a free kick.
I think Humberland too, they've switched up. The system is the same, but they've switched personnel somewhat. We've seen Dallas was operating a lot down the right side, find himself on the left. Also Rodney and Lewin.
Here is another opportunity, and just taken off the ball by Sean A. James. Knight sends it forward for Ricardo Morris. Portmore United can attack. It's 3 against 3, and maybe too much on it. No.
And I think that pass from Morris just was too much, and too much work there. And the pass just not executed the way he would have wanted. We just saw the possession stats there. It's 63-37 in favor of Portmore, but it had gone as high as 69 just before the goal was scored by Portmore. So again, yes, there's a lot of work for Humberland to do without the ball.
And a shot there. The referee does state it's a handled ball, and it will be another set piece opportunity for Humber Lion. Was it Russell again? This is his second handled ball infraction of the game.
Did one at the other end of the pitch, did he?
Yes, he did.
Well, we've seen Roden, the man on the ball, who has been taking a lot of the free kicks for Humber Lion. Interesting to see closer here if he's the one on it. He's the one with the ball again.
Yes.
It would appear that he is their specialist free kick taker, and other occasions he's been looking to. It was Vanzi who struck that one. Don't think Rousseau knew much about it. His back was turned. But Roden is the man who is entrusted here. And an opportunity in a game like this where you don't have much possession. These are the moments. Your set pieces have to be very good.
Roden, there seems to be their resident free kick taker, will take this one, and an opportunity for Humber Lion, an opportunity wasted. And again, you have to take your chances. If you're not having the majority of the possession, or if the possession is not close, you'd want to take your chances. And another opportunity, it seems as if all the opportunities have come from set pieces.
It has, and the execution was poor at that time. He was again always leaning back, looking for the far side of the goal, but hit too much under the ball. And when you do that, then there's only one direction it's going, and it's up.
Foster.
And you could hear Portmore here looking to play Rando with this Humberland team if they're not engaging them further up the park.
And another opportunity for Portmore United. And a player brought down, and that player was Javic McFarlane. And Rico Edwards was protesting the challenge and stating that Javic McFarlane was the one that fouled Rico Edwards initially. And that's why Rico Edwards did what he did, but it is a yellow card for Rico Edwards. And again, both just jostling for possession. I'm not sure if he really had a call for a foul by Javic McFarlane. There was just a jostle on possession, I believe.
I disagree. I think he was holding him back and had the arm around him. It was interesting to see whether or not it was the last defender back, but a yellow card it is. But I think he was never going to catch McFarlane. He was always going to be beaten for pace, Edwards. And once McFarlane got the wrong side of him, that was the only means by which he was going to stop him from bearing down on Harrison in goal. Harrison will still have some work to do, organising his wall meticulously here, because it could be troublesome for him here.
Yes, troublesome indeed. 4 players we see over the ball: Amelia Rousseau, Demario Phillips, Ricardo Morris.
Humberland will want to see this one out. It's just 1 minute to be added on at the end of this first half. We're well into that minute.
Again, maybe a strategy by Portmore United. We're not sure. Shawnee James, the one to take this one, and not far off the target. Harrison jumped for that one. Shawnee James was looking to double Portmore United's advantage.
Yeah, he missed his run up on his first attempt and went back, and again, just hitting too much under that one, and Harrison can watch that one sail over.
And referee Stefan Dwyer calls the end to the first half. A 30-minute strike by Ricardo Morris is the difference maker so far in this game. So Glennon to start the second half, and Dallas has ended his game. So
we'll wait to see if there's...
As we see the start of the second half, Portmore United leading by a 1-0. A foul early on Captain Andrew Vanzi by the captain for Portmore United, Ricardo Morris.
In the 46th minute, we have a
and again, you're not going to get a lot of the possession as Clinton is trying to latch on to that one early and get his first touch of the game. Rose gives that one away. Roden wanted to latch on to that one, but it is a throw for Humberline. Again, whenever there's pressure from Humberline, there's not a lot of worry that Portmore United would get out of that pressure because how effective their passing game has been.
Now we see a lot of directness in the play from Humberland, looking to hit the front players. But again, they will have to then set up to win those second balls at times, and that would mean committing more players to follow those passes.
And again, you look at the wide players, Dwight, in terms of getting those second balls, but they're tracked back so far that, you know, a man like Clennon or a man like James Thomas is not able to rely on those wide players to get those seconds. So they would have to bring those wide players more into the game. Kemar Foster with a lot of time on the ball trying to find Shawnee James, but Amelia Rousseau now goes forward for Portmore United. It's Shawnee James. Mario Phillips Tries to chip that one, and Sean Lee James is fouled. And it will be another free kick for Portmore United. And it's in a decent position to trouble goalkeeper Mikhail Harrison.
Yes, they've certainly given up quite a few free kicks. Well, both teams in the attacking third, but neither of them has been able to take advantage of these free kicks in these areas. The quality just not up to par. A lot of times hitting too low under it. As we take a look here, but yeah.
Rodney just clattered into the back of Sean Lee James.
Yeah, just couldn't stop his momentum, took him right into the back of him, and you see Russo and Morris. Russo and Morris always seem to be involved in the discussion for the free kicks, and quite obvious reasons, because they do pack a punch and have a good kick on them.
Yes, Russo, not a bad set piece take up, but Ricardo Morris, you'd have to ride high up the confidence of Ricardo Morris. 28 yards is the length, and he's the one to take this one, but again another opportunity wasted.
It's been the story of the game for the set pieces, sailing over the bar, not even close to troubling the goalkeeper. And I think what they have to do more is just aim at getting it on target.
Another opportunity for Portmore United. Grabs possession and dealt with by Kevon Reed of Humber Lion. And now a run there by Humber Lion, and an opportunity to maybe go 1-1, and a brilliant block. Timely challenge by the man Brown. Tajay Brown saving Portmore from maybe an equalizer, but that's what you want from Humber Lion. A very good opportunity for Humber Lion to get that equalizer, but a very important tackle by Tajay Brown.
It was the substitute Clennon who got the move going. Nice flick inside, and you feel that's the opportunity that Humber Lion would have been looking for in this second half to get back into the game, and you feel it's wasted.
Good move by Christian. Now it's James Thomas. James Thomas maybe looking for a shot. It's still James Thomas, but he loses possession, trips over his own foot, and loses that opportunity. But Humber Lion still in possession. Blocked by James. Still not dealt with. Christian turns, but Ricardo Morris does some defensive work, and he goes into touch. It will be a throw, and Emilio Russo is down on the field at the moment.
It's arguably the best phase of play for Humber Lion in terms of an attacking sense, and even overall for them, that's the best they've looked in this game. Series of possession high up the pitch, putting Portmore under some pressure.
That's what you want by Humber Lion. That's, I know, Andrew Price would want from Humber Lion. Ball sent inside, dealt with by Tajay Brown, but it's still Humber Lion with the possession. Humber Lion still, but collected by Kemar Foster. The best bit of work Humber Lion so far in the game, and almost got an opportunity on multiple occasions.
And you have to take heart from that, in the fact that that series of possession, that moment of applying some pressure to Portmore. Portmore didn't look so easy dealing with it, and so they have to try and create more moments like that in the game, and don't make it so easy for Portmore. We see Clennon there calling players to join him in the press, and they were reluctant to do so. But he has come on, the substitute Clennon, with some drive, some enthusiasm, and he will need some help from his other teammates.
That's what he's calling for, Andre Clennon. And that's what we've been saying all game. You have to press Portmore United. You cannot allow them to have that much possession. At the end of the first half, they had 60% possession. You can't allow them to have so much possession, because you will allow them to play their game. Demario Phillips over to Javik McFarlane. Demario Phillips trying to latch onto that ball again, but too much by McFarlane, and it will be a goal kick for Humberline.
That man Vanzine, your picture there is just having to work his socks off. I mean, expected to link the team from defense to attack, having to drop in to really provide numbers up in defense. It's really a lot of work, and it may have it take its toll on him as the game wears on.
Yes. Ball sent inside, and another opportunity, and still no, could not find the back of the net. Portmore United. Now they're the ones doing the pressing.
I think usually assured Harrison really has had some nervous moments in this game. Just going too much under that cross that came into the box.
And again, it's not usually Harrison that will be making those parrying mistakes. Normally he collects the ball with authority, so he has been doing that.
I mean,
all
when
game.
When you're in a team that is low on confidence and the players in front of you have been chipping goals, I think it takes its toll eventually, and just not calmness in front of him. He feels he has to be bailing them out all the time.
Foul on Ricardo Morris.
I think Morris least pleased with the work the efforts, the challenges that were on him, and I think in the end it was Roden.
See the last chance for Portmore United, not the best goalkeeping efforts by Mikhail Harrison, and it actually hits the post.
Yeah, it's just two Portmore. Portmore was their own undoing there. It was two players from Portmore getting in each other's way, and I think the final effort came off the upright. James and McFarlane there couldn't sort themselves out, and in the end did some defensive work for Humberline in the end.
Maybe they need some strong communication like digital.
I think they didn't get a parent sorted out here, right?
They would need to get that one sorted out, but opportunity gone. Can't really cry over spilt milk. You just have to set up and go again. And Portmore once more just getting to that possession-like football, and Humberline not pressing again. Just for those 5 minutes or so, Humberline did get that opportunity, but they're right back to their original game plan, which has not been working, and has that Rabana attempt of a cross by Ricardo Morris, and
you wonder if that was necessary. I guess being heavily dependent on the left, he felt he needed to use that on that occasion. It would have been better served to just try and put the right boot through that one and get it over.
Don't want to try any tricks and styles so early in the second half. You'd want to maybe bury the game this early. But again, I say Humberline just not pressing that much against Portmore United. Shawnee James, look at the space that Shawnee James had when he collected the ball, and a wayward pass by the number 11 from Portmore United, Shawnee James, and it's a goal kick for Humberline taken quickly. Attempted to get that ball was Lorenzo Lewin. Defensive work by Damano Solomon.
I think that is all triggered from what took place earlier when Roden challenged his challenge on Morris, and I think that has triggered the other players for Portmore to be robust.
Well, they didn't need that play to be robust, so Jermaine Christian loses out on Shawnee James, and Humberline just gets back possession once more. Ball sent inside, and Lewin still has the ball. Still Lewin. And now the open opportunity, Vanzi, but blocked by James. And that's also the name of the game for Portmore United. Their attackers coming back in defense, helping the defense. Maybe that's the difference.
And they have to, and that's an occasion there, the attack for Humber Lion. I think Portmore did well enough to shepherd them wide and narrow the angle in terms of the amount of goal that Humber Lion would have to shoot at, and in the end the shot from Vanzi was charged down.
Now an opportunity here through Javic McFarlane. That's the second goal. Brilliant goal by Javic McFarlane. And Portmore United have doubled their lead.
Yeah.
Portmore United, a royal blue finish, and Humber Lion singing the blues. It's Portmore United 2, Humber Lion 0.
Good strike there from McFarlane. We spoke about him in the game. The fact that he's a guy who got his first goal in the last game, seemed to be very excited that he got that goal. And he has followed up in this game, 2 goals in as many games. That was a short finish, just put his boot through it. And that was a beautiful pass from Rose. And once he played that pass, then all the Humber Lion defenders were chasing McFarlane. And that was how good the pass was. It cut the defence out. And McFarlane only had to bury that chance. Still a lot to do, McFarlane. And Harrison beaten at the near post. Maybe done by the eyes from McFarlane. Might have looked for the far post and just strike it to the near post. And in the end, 2 good finishes from Portmore, and McFarlane their second goal in as many games as we said.
Yes, and DeMar Rose everywhere on the park, you know, had that run of play in the first goal. Morris at the right place at the right time. Morris again had that run of play, and Javic McFarlane now at the right place at the right time, Dwight. So
yeah, when you're a passer of the football, you and then again, as a player, you in McFarlane and Morris, as we saw earlier, you make those runs because you know a player like Rose is behind you and he's going to make that pass. And so once you see him get on the ball, you don't hesitate, you make that run. And that helps your team because there's an assurance in your play because you anticipate and the plays come off. So Rose there, 2 assists in this game. And I'm pretty sure we spoke about it at the beginning of the game that though he was listed in the starting lineup as a central defensive midfielder, we expected him to play the roaming role, the night sitting deep, and he has roamed all game long. Not being tracked by Humber Lion.
Not being tracked at all. DeMar Rose, not a traditional CDM, not a CDM at all. Normally plays in an advanced role, but that was a pretty cheeky starting 11 by Ricardo Baby Gardner, but he has really done a lot in terms of his passing game, his running game, right place at the right time. And DeMar Rose, what a passing performance he's had so far.
Striker's dream, you say. You want to play with players like that all day long if you're a striker.
Mix up in communication, but Humber Lion still have possession. Jermaine Christian to the substitute Clennon, but referee says he was fouled. There was an infringement, and it will be a free kick for Humber Lion. Another set piece. Would this be another opportunity lost for the Clarendon-based team? A tale of 2 teams from this parish. Veer, the top of the table, but by this performance by Portmore, you don't think it will be for long. But Humber Lion looking to come to the party with Veer United. But they have a lot of work to do. They're 2-0 down after 61 minutes.
And quite honestly, in the evidence of things, you just don't see a way back for them.
Ball swung inside, and somewhat dangerous, but Portmore United dealt with it comfortably. There will be a corner for Humber Lion.
I think when Humber Lion look back at this game, they will rule how they have handled their set pieces, and there have been many for them in the attacking third.
Humber Lion ball swung inside the 18-yard box. Collected by Kemar Foster. They'd have to go again.
It was two players again getting in each other's way on this occasion for Humberline. It was a substitute. Clennon and Chambers going for the same ball, and probably in the end taking away the seriousness of the header.
And when you really look at it, the man of Solomon has done well to quell the set pieces, the corners, the free kicks for Portmore United when they do concede those infringements. So they've been able to deal with them properly. Rico Edwards. No communication at all.
You talk a while ago, we talked about Rose earlier, and he was trying to find Rousseau there. And the position that he played the pass from was a number 6 position. And so his range of passes, I mean, the first his two assists was way further up the park, but it shows also that one didn't get to Rousseau in the end, but good range of passes, Rose. So when he's deep, he can hurt you from deep as well. And that's a challenge that Humberline face dealing with him.
Yes, and now there's a pass to, attempted to find Emilia Rousseau, and Rico Edwards just shielding Rousseau so that Harrison could just pick that one up.
I think Rousseau didn't realize that he had a better opportunity than he thought, because the ball wasn't traveling with much pace to Harrison. And I think it was Edwards who was shepherding that one, and it was a risky play.
Very risky indeed. Portmore United. And Shawnee James just slowly trying to indirectly bring some players, and a shot there. Oh! Had to be saved by Mikhail Harrison. And a Seagull Knight troubling the goalkeeper. Parried that one out for a corner. And the Humberline players just backed off and allowed Seagull to shoot.
I think the fact that Seagull is taking a shot from that position of the park tells you a lot about the attacking impetus of Humberline, and the fact that as a number 6 he's travelled pretty much the length of the pitch to come and have that shot under zero pressure. In the end, was a good save from Harrison, probably his best play of the game so far. He's had some nervous moments.
And now it's an opportunity, but it's an offside call. Shawnee James behind the defenders. Looking for play up at Rodney. Just off the ball and possession back to Portmore United. Portmore United has been comfortable basically most of the game, and that is what Ricardo Bibi Gardner says. He wants to be comfortable for most of the game, have possessions and opportunities for most of the game, and that is what they're doing. It's played perfectly. Now it's Demario Phillips. Still Demario Phillips finding Javik McFarlane. Still Javik McFarlane. The referee says it's an offside call.
McFarlane just not timing his run well, maybe just too much of a straight run. Needed to arch his run.
Not too early, not too early. You want him to do it. You want him to do it. Hey, watch him now.
The Lion just trying to find some way back. I'm not sure how it's gonna happen, but we'll see what happens. But I mean, they only pressed for 5 minutes, and a shot by Vanzi wide of the target. And that's basically the story of their game so far. If they can have the number 6s being so freely in the park, the CDMs able to roam at ease in the park, then there's a problem defensively. And Andrew Price will really have to look into another game plan to go forward. This will be their 5th loss of the trot, and they have not been able to get a positive result since the start of the league, start of the season. Just a little passing session between some of the players.
I mean, it's hard to fathom. It's just for Portmore. It just looks like a training session in terms of passing. It's just too easy for Portmore at this stage, and credit to them that they keep looking to go forward. Coach Gardner did say he wants a professional performance from them, no complacency. They haven't showed any signs of that, so his preparation coming into this one certainly has been the way he wanted it to. And we see Morris there just telling his team to keep control of the game. We can't wait for the perfect pass.
You have to keep your composure, because any false move or any mistake, it can cost you. So you would want to keep cooler heads in order to see this one out, and that was not a cooler head, Emilio. So that was not a good play.
Yeah, I think they want to possess it, but they still want to have the intent to go forward, and so possession should be high up the pitch for Portmore, and try still to keep this Humberland team pegged in their half, because you don't want to be too casual and sloppy with your passes. But for the most part, Portmore has been professional with their play.
Myers to Morris, but Morris loses out, and in the end, fouls of FIBA Chambers, and it will be a free kick for Humberland.
Yeah, just too casual there from Morris. Just a heavy touch on that one, and as he did that, it was always second best to try and win it. Chambers doing well to put his body between the ball and Morris.
Credon collects that one for Humberland. Turns. Still turning, but turns into Shawnee James, and James collects. But he loses out on Clennon once more, and Clennon with a hand to the face. And it is a yellow card for the substitute. So referee Stefan Dwar saw the infringement as a yellow carded offense. And hand to the face, and I would see why the referee gives that one. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the fleeting elbow, cocked up elbow and pushing out, but yeah, I don't think he can have much complaint on that yellow card.
Can't. And then there was a hand to the face as well. So Clennon,
I think that is just down to frustration here. I think we've seen for Humberland 3 players being booked in this game. Chambers, Edwards, and now Clennon. And just no way back in this one. It's very frustrating, losing here by 2-0, and no evidence that something is about to change.
So Portmore United 2-0 in this one, and Clennon, the man who got a yellow card for that challenge, and I think it's the man of FIBA Chambers that's down on the pitch, and he's holding his hip.
A card in the 70th minute to number 14 of Humberland Football Club.
He was the player that was fouled earlier by
Ricardo Morris.
So could be something from that. Don't know if there was a knee to the hip region, which Coach Price has a lot of thinking to do. He's looking to bring some changes on the park, and hopefully those changes will bring a change of fortune for Humberland. But it has been a very disappointing performance so far.
It has been. So it seems as if Chambers will be coming off.
Yes, he is coming off. His day is done.
And that's it for the defender. And coming on And the 20, number 20, that's James Thomas, the striker. The centre forward is coming off for Humble Lion. And coming on, it seems to be Gregory Morgan. So Gregory Morgan coming on for James Thomas.
We're waiting to see who will come on for Chambers.
Yes, as he's stretched off, and it.
But yeah, Coach Price will certainly need to. He's hoping that these two changes will bring him a change of fortune.
And it seems to be Corey Hilton. Yes, Hilton is the man coming on for Afiba Chambers. But it's Portmore United in possession. Not the best decision by DeMar Rose.
2 substitutions for Humble Lion. Number 34.
Christian
replaced by number 42. And
stops on a dime and finds substitute Hilton.
Unofficially in the 73rd minute.
Foster under some pressure. Portmore United. And there's still some pressure. Gregory Morgan and Andre Klein and the men who are pressing for Humble Lion, and it's a throw for Humble Lion.
Yeah, that's what a little pressure can do. I mean, they looked composed. I was about to say that, still showing some calmness and composure at the back there, Portmore, despite coming under pressure. But that pressure forced them into an unforced error.
Oh, too much by Corey Hilton for Gregory Morgan. So one substitute was trying to find another, but it's a goal kick.
But again, we wait to see if there's any change in terms of the setup here from Humble Lion. We see they have committed 3 players up front to try and press now, engaging Portmore high up the pitch, though it has come 2 goals late.
You would think that they should have done this maybe the first part of the game as Portmore United through Javit McFarlane. The referee says no foul, and he's not happy with that decision. Again, DeMar Phillips just trying to get possession for Portmore United. They have it now. Seagull Knight. And now we have DeMario Phillips on the ball. And a shot by Morris. Way high up the target. As Johan and the Tonza would say, you put 3-4 goals, and maybe that would have counted, but too much. Another tackle by DeMar Rose. Just everywhere today for Portmore United. Hilton under some pressure and he loses the ball. Now it's Javit McFarlane. Tries to get by Kevon Reed. But Portmore still have possession and an opportunity to attack. Ricardo Morris. Over to find Rousseau. Throw for Portmore.
We see the players coming on for Humble Lion. I mean, not looking as mobile as you'd want your players to be, looking heavy and just not up to the speed of the game. Morgan and Hilton, we saw Hilton robbed earlier.
DeMario Phillips sends that one across to find Tajay Brown and does. Ball sent inside the 18-yard box. Opportunity for DeMario Phillips to certainly shut this game out for Portmore United.
He had to hit the target there, Phillips. He had to hit the target. It was a lovely, lovely ball into the rocks from Tajay Brown. And you were just expecting the net to bulge once Phillips got on the end of that one. And just sliding off his forehead and going behind.
Again, Portmore still has the opportunity, and an opportunity for Ricardo Morris. What an opportunity to get a brace in this game. Ricardo Morris, and just trying to be cheeky. And the smile there from the number 8, from the captain. And what a ball from Sean A. James, and nobody picked up Ricardo Morris and tried to be cheeky. And maybe Harrison just threw him off, but what an opportunity to go 3-0 up against Humber Lion.
And give Morris credit, the run was just superb. He went to the blind side of the defenders, all caught at looking at the ball, and by the time they realized, and as a striker that's what you want to do, surprise defenders when they look for you and think you're one spot then you're somewhere else, and by the time they find you, you're well out of their reach. Good run behind the defenders, and by the time they saw him, they were looking at his number 8 and they couldn't do anything about it. Try the cheeky chip. It's something that we don't see players do a lot here. Maybe they need to practice that more. It's something that they probably come into the game, but you definitely want to practice doing those.
As we see Rose, DeMar Rose coming out, and Shivani Willis coming in.
Rose
and Phillips, Demario Phillips is out, and Amar Reed will be coming on. So Phillips so one Clarendon College for another, and Amar Reed has entered this game. So Demario Phillips didn't have a bad game. DeMar Rose had an excellent game today. A very good game. Passing game was very efficient, DeMar Rose.
He covered a lot of ground as well. He had the free roll apparently. So it was given to him by his coach, and he played it quite well. Ghosting a lot of time, wasn't tracked very often, and was able to, because of that, was able to play those 2 killer passes that resulted in goals for this Portmore team.
And not just the 2 assists he had, Dwight, as we see an attack that was basically ended by Portmore's defense. But we didn't just see those killer passes that led to the goal, but a lot of times within the part when they need a pass to open the play up, that was DeMar Phillips for them. So very good, as I say, very good passing game from him. Seagull Knight, which is playing, finds Damano Solomon. So a very composed game by these Portmore United players. And Amari tries to get into play, and the referee says it's an offside.
The ultimate crime in football is they have it being out wide and looking across the line, and to be in an offside position. Coaches are always livid with that. And as you see here with this passing sequence from Humber Lion, it's all happening in front of the Portmore defence, and it's very easy for them.
Very easy indeed. Not some good telling passes, but they're just able to keep their shape, Portmore United.
Yeah, the play is just right in front of them, not having to turn.
And a block by Seagull Knight. And it is in fact a free kick which is taken quickly to Vic McFarlane. It is 2 against 4. And to Ricardo Morris. Gobbled up by Mikhail Harrison.
Good anticipation from the goalkeeper. Had to come out because Morris should have been bearing down on goal. Incidentally there, it looked like the free kick taken quickly, and Humber Lion testing that the ball was rolling, when it was taken. The referee allowed the play to continue.
Concentration is what I believe that Humberline is lacking at times, and that is what has led to so many opportunities for Portmore United, and a handled ball by Amar Reid. And the referee is saying that that action by Corey Hilton deserves a yellow, and I think it does. That action was very unnecessary by the substitute.
Yes, Hilton, I mean,
and a lot of the Portmore United players still protesting about the decision, that it maybe should have been a different color.
they were trying to get the color to be red. And Hilton there, that's all he has contributed so far since coming on.
Ball swung inside the 18-yard box, and Kemar Foster just seeing that one through.
Unofficially in the 83rd minute, yellow card.
Wanted to find Amelia Rousseau.
Humberline Football Club, player number 12, Andrew Zanti.
Hands it to Christian. Christian trying to find Clennon, but covered up by Tajay Brown.
Omar Reid.
Shawnee James. And a shot. Oh, what a brilliant goal! That was fantastic by Shivani Willis. What a strike! And that is the third goal of the game. What a goal by Shivani Willis, the substitute. And oh my word, I know that Ricardo Bibi Gardner will be happy about that one.
And that was a great strike there. Just the time that he's been given on the ball again. Nobody close to him, but once it fell to him, he let fly. It seems like it took a deflection. I was wondering, it looked like it just got away from Harrison, but even so, he's not getting to that one. There's no way he's getting to that one. I think this one will give us a better thing. Yes, seemed to have taken a deflection off of Morris, and that was always going to make a difficult shot even more difficult for Harrison. Was not getting to that one either way, and it's nothing less than Portmore deserve in this game. They've shown all their attacking impetus in this one.
That was a scintillating strike by Shivani Willis. Came on and did that.
So that's what you want your substitutes to do. Come on and either maintain the high level that you have out there, or lift the level of the play that you have. And he has done that. I don't think he'll have a easier day on the park based on the opposition here. Really very passive, zero pressure from Humberline all over the pitch.
Yes, son. That has been basically the name of the game for Humberline. They did not press. They didn't press at all, and as we see Andre Clennon in an offside position, but that just spelled trouble for them. You had Shivani Willis, he had time on the ball, he was able to pick out a shot, and that's the third goal. What a strike by the former Jamaica College man Shivani Willis.
More. Watch the ball now.
Reid. Humberline losing possession. And Amar Reid wasn't able to keep that one in, and it will be a throw for Humberline.
We see a substitution coming up for Portmore, and McFarlane
and James, Shawnee James,
seem to be the two players coming out.
And so Zane Hilton is on for Javik McFarlane. And Shawnee James coming off. And it's the man Rafiq Bryan, another former Jamaica college man, steps onto the park for Portmore United.
Yeah, Portmore just looking to get players out there. It won't be a better opportunity for Coach Gardner to get his charges on the field and get some playing time under their belt, because really and truly he would I don't think he would have expected this easy outing today from the Humberland team. Really lacking any bite or cutting edge. It's really been a blunt performance from Humberland.
Three substitutions in the 88th minute. A double substitution.
There was another substitution for Humberland.
Portmore United Football Club.
So Jay Graham
Number 10 was
the one
Brian. The
that is in.
For James, Sandy James, number 11. And number 22, Zane Hilton. The substitution for number 12, Javed McFarlane. Also in the 88th minute, a substitution for Humberland Football Club. Number 23, Jay Graham. The substitution for number 15, Lorenzo Lewin.
And Lorenzo Lewin is the man, as we're confirming, that is the one that came off.
I think we've seen some really good performances there for Portmore. I mean, Morris had a good game, scored a goal, been working his socks off.
Could have had a hat-trick too.
Yeah. We have another goal from McFarlane, did well too, was always a threat going forward. I think Rose really allowed the Portmore team to click. You could have had a game where they had a lot of possession in the areas that wouldn't hurt Humberland, as they chose to sit deep and just give up possession to Portmore. But because of Rose, I think that possession ended up in goals.
Yes, Demar Rose had a very good game. It was an all-round good performance by Portmore United. The passing game was very efficient, and 3 goals were scored because of that wonderful passing game from Portmore United. But I think that Demar Rose really had an efficient game. He went forward a lot of times in the middle of the park. He was very robust. He was very mobile. Intercepted a lot of passes by Humberland, and those all important 2 assists. And
yeah, really, I think just it's always painful in those areas.
3 minutes of stoppage time by the 4th official.
I guess we're going to get more than that, because I think we're into it. As they always say, it's a minimum off. So we could see as much as a 4 being played because of this stoppage. I think Humberland will want to get off the park. Portmore, no doubt, will want to improve on their goal average. Field Myers will be fine to continue.
Yes. Drop ball as usual. Throw for Humberland. And with this win, as we know, Portmore United would go 1 point ahead of there. Some passing game by Humberland. Referee says a free kick taken quickly. Now it's Audrey Clennon. Maybe get one back for consolation, but referee says there should be a stop in play. There's a player down on the field, and the medical team is called into question. Seems to be maybe Seagull Knight. It's down on the field. And it is.
We can have a look to see what happened here.
Oh, step on the foot by Corey Hilton.
And that's a lot of weight. So no wonder he's down on the turf, but he should be fine.
Should be okay. Portmore, you would say, Dwight, a comfortable win in the end?
I think not in the end. From the start, it appears that it was just too comfortable. I don't think they hurried. Humberland did enough to worry Portmore.
Ball swung in, and maybe there's a consolation on the cards, though it's not. Tajay Brown says no, not today. And we're approaching the end of those minimum of 3 minutes. But there were two stoppages, so maybe 4, you would think. And Humberline coming forward maybe to try and get a goal for consolation, and a shot at goal, but collected by Kemar Foster easily. Just a little trick that the goalkeepers love to do, especially at the end of games, and that is the end of the game. 3 goals, 3 brilliant goals by Portmore United. Ricardo Morris, the man on the score sheet. And the captain will be delighted. Shivani Willis basically put the game to bed with a wonderful strike. And at the end of the game, at the end of 90 minutes, the second half, Portmore United emerged 3-0 waiters. So at the end of 90 minutes, it's Portmore United 3, Humberline 0.